So the office is waiting for the new female president to arrive, and his coworker starts whispering some wild thirst comments.
He says he heard the new boss has an insane body, wondering if she's actually super soft and sweet in person.
But just as Qiao Chen is about to reply, he spots someone stepping out of the elevator. And standing right there in the center of the crowd, wait, is that seriously her?
Talk about absolute worst luck ever. The legendary heiress who just got dropped in as their supreme leader
is literally the ex-girlfriend he dumped 4 years ago, and she walks straight past him into her private office. The guys exchange panicked looks, defeatedly following her. Xu Anan is tall, gorgeous, and exudes this incredibly elegant, untouchable boss energy. But only Qiao Chen knows that this pristine lady actually has a major secret side.
She looks at them, introducing herself as Xu Anan.
I am taking over as the executive president of Chenan Group. We will be working together. Her only rule, do not make decisions on your own. She then demands introductions, pointing to them to start. Qiao Chen goes first, wishing her a polite hello.
He introduces himself. My name is Qiao Chen, and my duties
involve managing all of the executive scheduling, which includes business trips.
The next guy, Fang Zhang, introduces himself too, and 30 minutes later, the meeting finally wraps up. As the three of them leave the office, Qiao Chen is looking completely spaced out and utterly shaken.
His buddy Ye Junhao has to yell his name several times before he finally snaps back to reality.
Junhao asks what on earth he is spacing out about, wondering if he's doing okay.
Qiao Chen lies, saying it is nothing, so his coworkers immediately go back to hyping up how beautiful she is. They are saying it is a literal crime she is not a model because her visuals are flawless from 360 degrees. They wonder if she's secretly clingy in private, and Qiao Chen mumbles that she is actually insanely clingy.
Junhao looks at him confused, asking what he meant by insane because he did not quite catch it.
He brushes it off. Inside her office,
Xu Anan's phone rings, and she quickly answers it. Her friend on the other end gasps that she is finally back, and she just calmly asks why she cannot return. The friend says that is not what they meant, but wonders why she chose this specific company. They ask if she knows Qiao Chen works there, but she instantly tells them to shut up.
She denies it completely. Talk about massive denial.
Her friend just laughs. How do you explain those custom sheep and violet tattoos on your body? She snaps that she does not owe anyone an explanation and hangs up. The violets were his absolute favorite flowers. Because his sign is Aries. Outside, Qiao Chen is staring blankly at his desk. It has been 4 years. She must have moved on by now. Maybe even married. Just then, Junhao walks up. Qiao Chen plays it off, claiming he just stayed up too late last night. He feels sick, asking what his friend needs. Junhao explains that human resources cannot find a suitable assistant for the boss. They need to pick one of them to temporarily fill in, and it comes with a sweet pay raise. He asks who wants it, and Qiao Chen immediately declines, saying he is not exactly hurting for cash.
Junhao notes that Fang Zhang really needs the money, since he is planning to buy a house with his girlfriend soon.
But then he adds that Qiao Chen is easily the most qualified one out of the three. I mean, to the previous boss, he was basically running the show as a co-assistant anyway. Qiao Chen just shivers, muttering that the new female boss seems terrifying, and he is way too scared to do it. The woman coming down the stairs freezes. Am I really that scary? No way Qiao Chen is afraid of me, right? I mean, Io Shu looks a bit cold, but she's not actually mean. Plus, she is absolutely gorgeous, and I wonder how her boyfriend handles looking at her.
Like with a flawless, perfect face from every single angle, how does he even resist?
Wait, Chen is choking. You okay? Honestly, shouldn't boyfriend mean husband by now? I mean, she had a fiance 4 years ago, so they must be married. And she even smiles at him. Suddenly, Zhang runs over, covers his mouth, and tells Chen to look. Check out this HR leak. Turns out CEO Xu went to Jushang University too. She was a finance major, and honestly, she has total school goddess energy. You don't know her? Come on, she's a literal goddess, while my face is just totally average. No way I'd ever meet her. Well, he's already slept with her, but still plays dumb. Seriously, Chen, where do you even get the idea that your face is just average? We're only halfway through the month, and guess what? We've already had to finish so many confession lunchboxes for you. Isn't that great? You guys don't even have to buy lunch. Wow, thanks a lot.
No problem.
Suddenly, everyone freezes and stands straight, staring at the woman by the stairs. Chen feels instant panic. How long has she been standing there? This is so bad. Haha, CEO Shu, what brings you down here in person? If you need anything, you can just call our extension next time. I just wanted to check on the assistant team. Shu Wanan looks around the room. Her expression softens slightly. HR should have already notified you guys.
I need a temporary assistant. I've already reviewed the resumes of you three, along with your work performance over the past 2 years.
Ye Junhao, since you handle many clients, coordinate with Qiao Chen to hand over tasks. Aside from his scheduling duties, you will be taking over the rest of his workload. Starting tomorrow, Qiao Chen will step in as the acting executive assistant. Ye Junhao nods immediately, and Feng Zhang has no objections either. CEO Shu, I really don't think I'm fit for this. Junhao has worked way more with the executive assistant before. He's a much better fit. But then she hits him with, "Are you the CEO or am I?" Shu Anan stares at him for a second, then turns and steps into the elevator. Ugh, what a complete psycho! So what if she's the boss? I don't want to go up there. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Someone save me! Chen, why do you look like you're heading to the gallows? Executive assistant is a great gig. Awesome benefits, a sweet promotion, and you're still complaining? I'm not happy, and I don't want to go. Junhao, Zhang, help me out. You guys gotta help me think of something. She's the CEO. What can we even do?
Honestly, just relax.
CEO Shu can't be as bad as our last boss. You're basically heading up there to relax. An hour later, Chen heads up to the executive floor, even though he knows there's no hope for them anymore.
But hearing her icy voice still hurts deep down.
He quickly forces himself to calm down, plastering on a perfectly professional smile. Pushing the door open, he sees Shu Anan at her desk, slender fingers typing away. She doesn't even look up, but actually, the second he stepped outside that glass door,
She already recognized his shadow, a shadow she could never forget for the rest of her life.
President Shu, I have 0 assistant experience, and I am definitely not happy with this transfer. She tries to object, but he cuts her off. Who are you to even have an opinion here? Her professional smile instantly freezes. Honestly, what right does she even have? He is her boss now. He coldly tells her to go to HR and resign if she hates it. He acts so cold and distant, you would swear these two were complete strangers. Quit? No shot. She worked her absolute butt off to get this far. Going from a 6,000 yuan internship to making 18,000 a month. Plus a 60,000 yuan bonus. Why should she be the one to quit? Holding her ground, she asks if her salary will change because of this sudden transfer. He asks for her current salary, and keeping her fake corporate smile, she says 18,000. Tapping his desk, he says that is a bit too much for this role. Her professional smile almost cracks as she asks what he is trying to play at. He reminds her that internal transfers have a strict 1-month probation period. Since she is on probation, her pay has to match the lower trial rate. Bro, this is wild. So she gets promoted to executive assistant but gets a pay cut? Her pay drops to trial levels and she is literally laughing in disbelief. Keeping her cool, she asks exactly how much this trial salary is going to be. Shu Anan hits the intercom and coldly asks HR what the assistant trial rate is. 12,000. He gets the answer and instantly hangs up the phone. His icy voice has absolutely 0 warmth as he asks if she heard that. He asks if she has any more questions, and she slowly unclips her employee badge. No questions, she says. I quit. But as she turns to walk out, his casual voice drifts over behind her, if he remembers correctly. Assistant Chow renewed her employment contract just last year. The executive assistant role handles most of the company's highly confidential files. It requires a 30-day notice and a full investigation by the legal department before leaving. Otherwise, it is a total breach of contract, requiring 24 months of salary as compensation. Based on her current monthly salary, that comes out to 432,000 yuan. But since she worked hard here for 4 years, he will generously make it an even 430,000. She just needs to transfer that amount to the company account before she walks out. There is no such clause in her contract. She asks if she should bow 90 degrees, too. And thank him for saving her 2,000 yuan? He replies that other employees do not get this deal. But she does. At this point, she realizes he is doing this entirely on purpose. Just to make her life miserable, she threatens to report the company for malicious extortion. Zhu Anan calmly stands up and tells her to go ahead. She immediately turns and leaves. He warns her that this industry is tiny, so she better be ready for a career change. Seriously, she has had absolutely enough of his power trips. He tells her to beg him, and maybe he will consider signing her resignation. No shot! She literally throws her badge away and walks out. Slamming his door open, she marches into the assistant office next door and locks it. Her emotions finally spill over. 4 years ago, she already let him go. What more does he want from her? What is she even supposed to do? Once she cools down, she opens her laptop and drafts an official resignation. She fires it off to the HR director. Less than a minute later, Xu Anan finds out and instantly blocks it. The HR director immediately calls her to break the news. Director Chen asks if she's really quitting over her new salary? Wait, she's worked there for 4 years and is super capable. He even admits $26,000 a month is pretty low for a talent like her. But with quarterly and year-end bonuses, it's actually huge, leaving Chen completely confused. She asks what he means. He's shocked. Turns out, Xu Anan gave the entire assistant office a massive raise. She quickly checks. The raise starts this month, meaning Xu Anan never actually cut her pay. Wait, plot twist. Director Chen confirms this whole massive raise was actually Xu Anan's personal idea. Just 2 hours ago, the boss promoted her to executive assistant. He ordered the raise right then, and the director just finalized it with finance. Chen is stunned. 2 hours ago? That was right before he even stepped into her office. So why the sudden attitude? Executive assistant hours are brutal, though. They are basically locked to the boss's schedule, working like corporate slaves until he leaves. Suddenly, her pinned group chat blows up with coworkers calling Xu Anan a literal god. Everyone's celebrating because they finally get to go home on time for once. Their old boss was a total tyrant compared to him, and they wonder where Chen is. Is the new executive assistant too busy to chat? Chen checks her messages. She notices a new group chat with only her 2 coworkers and Xu Anan. He messaged the group. Basically, they don't have to work late unless it's a real emergency, and the guys reply instantly. Chen is the only silent one, quickly typing back that she was just busy. Honestly, after threatening to quit to his face, this is beyond awkward for her. There's no way he doesn't already know she sent that resignation email to Human Resources. Forget it. He can play the big boss, and she'll just pack up her things. She heads down the stairs, but Xu Anan immediately stands up as she passes by. He grabs his keys and phone, heading right to the elevator with her. The coworkers waiting outside see Xu Anan inside and freeze, hesitating to even step in. The boss asks if they're coming in, making Yi Junhao snap out of it. He grabs both of them, dragging them in before they can object. Chen looks completely down. The woman nearby looks worried as he asks what's bothering her. She shakes her head. Once they step out, the guys start teasing Assistant Qiao about her new raise. They joke that with her huge salary, she should finally stop being so cheap. She should ditch her crappy old ride for a new one, Ye Yunhao says, tossing his keys. He points out there's a huge car subsidy right now, plus a 20% company discount. He urges her to upgrade, but Chen just laughs and pulls out her keys. She says her money is needed elsewhere, but they suggest celebrating over dinner instead. They offer hot pot or barbecue, but Chen declines because she just moved into a new place. She claims she's still getting used to it and needs to head back early. She can't mention her dog with the boss listening, so she promises a housewarming later. She invites them over for hot pot next time, totally unaware Xu Anan is standing right behind them. Once the group gets in, the driver pulls the white Phantom right up in front of him. He whips out his phone to make a quick call, find out where Qiao Chen's new place is. On the other line, He Yangxun literally chuckles. Wait, I thought you did not care. Xu Anan stays dead silent, so the guy's just like, all right, Boss Xu. Just give me 10 minutes. And with that, Xu Anan hangs up feeling pretty satisfied. It is peak rush hour, but that tiny electric car is easily weaving through the heavy traffic. Seeing this, Xu Anan's driver cannot help but talk some mad trash about it. Who actually likes these cheap little electric rides, he asks, even if they look okay? One fire and it is down to the metal frame, but Xu Anan actually asks if they are that unsafe. The driver laughs and says, look, a cheap car like that cannot really offer much safety. You only get airbags if you pay for the luxury version, so if you crash into it... Wait, Boss Shu, what did you just say? And she just coldly repeats, crash into it.
The driver closes his eyes in absolute panic and slams his foot right on the gas. Despite the loud collision, Shu Anan does not seem bothered by the impact at all.
She does not even flinch, though she watches the car in front take a massive hit. It violently sways, making her ask why he could not be gentler. What if someone got hurt? The driver cries out, Boss Shu, I am innocent!
I was barely moving, he says. I did not even hit the gas hard.
When a Rolls-Royce rear-ends a tiny electric car, everyone nearby stops to watch.
The onlookers are low-key jealous of the electric car driver, who is currently sitting there completely stunned. Our boy is a total rookie driver, so his skills behind the wheel are still pretty shaky. Usually, he is the one accidentally tapping other people, but today, someone actually rear-ended him.
And it gets worse. Thinking about this, he glances up at his rear view.
Oh my god, it is a Rolls-Royce. Is he about to get hit with a massive bill? He is absolutely panicking at this point, thinking his life is officially over. He frantically opens his phone to check his balance. Only 58,300 yuan. Is that even enough for a luxury car? That is literally his entire savings. He does not have another penny to his name, and then suddenly, someone knocks on his window. His heart starts pounding so loud he can hear it, pure anxiety taking over. Taking a deep breath to calm his nerves, he finally rolls down the window. An ordinary-looking middle-aged guy is standing there, giving him a hurried, apologetic smile. The man immediately apologizes, saying he is so sorry, but his brakes just did not hold.
He politely asks our guy to step out and check the damage, claiming they are fully at fault. Since the driver is being so incredibly nice about it, he figures he has to get out.
So he unbuckles his seatbelt and follows the driver to the back of his little car. But seeing the dented front bumper of that Rolls-Royce makes his stomach sink immediately. At this rate, he is already imagining a lifetime of debt and misery. He carefully asks if they are absolutely sure it is their fault. The driver quickly reassures him, while the wealthy heiress sitting in the back is having other thoughts. She actually wants to buy our guy a brand new car, wishing her driver would get the hint. He gently touches the scratched paint on his bumper, praying they do not make things difficult. Even though his heart is totally bleeding, he politely tells them it is completely fine. Honestly, your luxury car looks way worse off, so do not worry about paying me, he says. Suddenly, Su Anan steps out of the luxury ride and her driver instantly stands up straight. He respectfully reports to her, explaining that the young man refused to take any money. Zhu Anan glares at him, and the driver immediately shuts up. Then she turns to Qiao Chen and apologizes, blaming her driver for speeding. She promises to pay him back while the driver stares in absolute shock. Wait, did you not tell me to hit him? Why blame me now? Hearing that familiar voice, Qiao Chen freezes in disbelief. He looks up in surprise and mutters, President Shu? She just coldly nods. Then she asks if he wants to buy a new car himself or let the company pay. Take your pick, but Qiao Chen declines, saying his ride is perfectly fine. Seriously, President Shu, it is fine. Shu Anan stays quiet for a few seconds. She tells him to come to her office tomorrow morning to get a new ride. Honestly, she is probably going to buy him the exact same cheap car. It only lost a bit of paint, and it is still super practical. Shu Anan scoffs, repeating his word back to him with pure attitude. Qiao Chen is totally baffled. Like, what did he even say wrong? Before he can even finish his thought, Shu Anan completely stuns him. Wait, what is she doing? She gets right back into her car and starts reversing. Realizing her crazy plan, Qiao Chen rushes to block the car, screaming her name. Are you completely insane? Stop the car right now. The driver is shaking. This guy is actually brave enough to yell her direct name. The luxury window rolls down and Shu Anan leans out. She orders Lao Shu to drag him away, and the poor guy dares not disobey. Lao Chu apologizes, and then boom, a massive crash echoes. I did not see that coming. She actually flipped his cheap scooter on purpose. Breaking free from Lao Shu, he yells, Shu Anan, are you literally insane? Why would you wreck his scooter for absolutely no reason? She does not even look. Her luxury Phantom is totally trashed too, and Lao Shu is practically crying.
This is a literal limited edition Rolls-Royce Phantom, and she just trashes it. A multi-million-dollar car, and she just wrecked it to make a point. Xuanan steps out, walks over, and tells him to come to her office tomorrow.
She tells him to grab the keys, but Qiao Chen completely ignores her.
He just pulls out his phone to call the insurance company instead. Xu Anan leans against her trashed hood, looking ready to argue all night. Lao Shu creeps up to her, asking very carefully if they should call insurance.
Call insurance? What insurance? She snaps back immediately.
As if she cannot afford to replace his tiny, cheap scooter. But Lao Shu points at her luxury ride. What about your car, President Shu?
Just fix it, or scrap it if it's dead. Lao Shu finally breathes.
Thank goodness she did not just trash it instantly.
Since it is rush hour, the insurance guys take over an hour to arrive. Seeing a flipped Jeep ride next to a wrecked Phantom, the agent is trembling. Are you sure she hit you, Mr. Qiao, and not just you flipping over? Qiao Chen snaps, asking if he is blind, and demands an immediate repair estimate. Honestly, you have got to love her crazy energy, even if she is toxic. She is completely inescapable. Once they finally wrap up the police report, he has another problem.
He suddenly remembers his other electric ride back home that needs fixing.
After telling the staff to contact him if Boss Shi has any issues, Qiao Chen heads back to his car, grabs his valuables, and walks toward the overpass. Seeing him weave through the heavy traffic, Xuanan sighs and follows right behind. He spots her and yells, "Stop following." Do you own shares in this road too? He ignores her completely after that. Just charging straight ahead. Fortunately, once he gets off the overpass. His newly rented apartment is just 2 traffic lights away, thank goodness, because a long walk would have killed him. It is a cozy 1-bedroom apartment he got lucky finding as a sublet from a young couple. A total steal, honestly. But right before entering the building, he randomly looks back. She is gone. He finally sighs in relief. But what Qiao Chen does not know is that the second he turns around, Xuanan steps out of the dark corner, standing downstairs and counting the seconds. Watching the window light up, she immediately figures out he is on the 8th floor. Bro, this girl's actually obsessed. You will never get rid of me, Qiao Chen, she mutters. Inside, his digital lock clicks open. And he hears a pitiful whimper. He immediately scoops up his dog, Lightning. Daddy is back, he says. Wait, no. It is all that bad woman's fault. I am so late. Lightning is a corgi they actually raised together back when he and Xuanan were dating. When they split, Qiao Chen basically dog-napped him while she was not looking. After a quick shower, he decides to take Lightning down for a walk and grab some dinner. Cooped up all day, the corgi bolts the second they hit the street. Slow down, Lightning, Qiao Chen groans, shocked by the dog's insane strength. Seriously, is he walking the dog or is the dog walking him? But right as they reach the gate,
Xuanan is just getting into her car when she spots a very familiar figure in her rearview mirror.
the car stops as he struggles to pull the leash. Seeing this, Xuanan can only laugh in pure disbelief. She realizes that this guy did not just steal her heart, he literally stole her dog too. Honestly, can you even blame him? On the day they broke up, she was completely wasted at a bar. She came home, dog was gone. Assuming the corgi escaped, she offered massive rewards but found nothing. Turns out, she had a literal dog thief on her hands. Meanwhile, Qiao Chen is begging his dog to stop. "Just stop," he wheezes. "I am exhausted." Feeling pretty hungry, Qiao Chen decides to cross the street to buy some wontons. He secures the leash tightly in his hand and carefully walks across the road. Xuanan watches them both safely enter the restaurant before finally telling her driver to move. Lightning seems to sense something, turning around and barking frantically at the street. Qiao Chen looks back toward the door too, but only catches a black car driving away. "Stop barking," he tells the dog, telling him to hush as they finish up their meal. Later, Qiao Chen gets a text from his insurance saying Xu Ayan wants to settle this privately. They even pass along her number, plus under his policy terms, the insurance pays 55,000 yuan. Tucking Lightning into his bed by the floor, Qiao Chen crouches down and whispers. He whispers that he saw her again, completely unchanged. "Still as annoying as ever," he mutters. Sitting on the floor, he tells the dog how hard he tried to forget her. Why did she have to show up again? He is convinced she is probably married by now. Sensing his heavy mood, his adorable dog, Lightning, gently rubs against his hand. He jokingly asks the pup if he wants a stepdad or if he should go back to his real mom.
After a few soft whines, he pats Lightning, tucks him into bed, and heads to sleep.
Our boy opens his phone, switches accounts, and stares at a single contact in his blacklist. Turns out it is the exact same account his new CEO is using in the work group. Wondering if she has been waiting for him, he impulsively unblocks her right then and there. Meanwhile, the gorgeous CEO, Shu An, is relaxing on her sofa in a bathrobe after a bath. She is casually holding a glass of red wine in one hand and her phone in the other. Her friend teases her, asking why she is digging up his address if she supposedly does not love him. Is she planning a midnight dog heist, or is she out for revenge? Breakups are never this wild. But Zhu An ignores the teasing and suddenly asks when his mother passed away. Her friend answers that it was about 6 months after their breakup, prompting Shu An to open WeChat. Her fingers habitually drift toward the pinned contact of her beloved ex, Qiao Chen. The last text from 4 years ago was from the day the dog went missing. It reads, Chen, you do not want me anymore, so why leave Lightning too? She scrolls up through hundreds of texts, but none of them ever went through before. But when she carelessly taps the screen this time, the message actually gets sent.
In a panic, she drops her wine glass to recall it, but the 2-minute limit has already passed.
With no other choice, she goes to the company workgroup and sends him a friend request. After waiting for minutes with zero response, she mutters that Qiao Chen is really testing her patience. The next morning, before his alarm even rings, Qiao Chen is licked awake by his dog. He screams that they are late, pulling Lightning into a big, warm hug. He ruffles the pup's head and grabs his phone, noticing an unread message. But just as he is about to open it, his clumsy hands drop the phone. It lands right on poor Lightning's head, making the dog yelp in pain. He quickly kisses the pup to comfort him before picking up the phone again. And there it is, a text from his unblocked ex saying, "You stole my dog." He immediately pinches the dog's snout, playfully accusing the pup of betraying him. He asks Lightning if he secretly snitched on him, teasingly demanding to know if Daddy was not good enough. With his snout held shut, poor Lightning looks completely innocent. He is the real victim here.
Qiao Chen ignores the text, tempted to put her right back on the blacklist.
But that would look way too obvious, so he just decides to switch back to his main account. Once he is back on his work profile, he notices a pending friend request. His instant reflex is to hit decline. But then he pauses.
She is his literal boss now, so ignoring her might actually ruin his career.
Ultimately, he decides to just pretend he never saw the notification. I mean, what kind of sane boss sends a friend request at midnight anyway? After washing up, he suddenly remembers his car was totally wrecked by his corporate overlord. With no ride, he has to hail a cab and ends up waiting 15 minutes in peak morning traffic. He dashes into the lobby right on the dot, only to see the elevator doors closing. He shouts to hold it, but talk about bad luck. Shu An is standing inside with the CFO. He freezes for a few seconds, caught in the ultimate awkward dilemma. But he swallows his pride and steps in anyway, because honestly, some things matter more.
He cannot lose his perfect attendance bonus, so he politely greets them, saying, "Hello, President Shu."
"Morning, Director Zhang. Look who actually made it on time." Honestly, after reading that morning text message, Qiao Chen is way too terrified to even look next to her. Did he find out about her stealing Lightning? Or was it a wrong number? She just shrugs, saying she took a cab. That explains the delay, but what about her trusty scooter? Apparently some completely terrible driver crashed into it and left it totally wrecked. She just forces a dry laugh and keeps her mouth shut, but inside she is screaming. Because the culprit is literally standing right next to her, and his driving is pure trash. His driving is seriously awful, but luckily the elevator finally stops right at the 16th floor. The financial director waves goodbye and finally steps out, leaving Qiao Chen completely trapped all alone with President Shu An. The silence in the elevator is incredibly awkward, leaving her staring desperately at those blinking floor numbers. The exact moment they finally hit the 30th floor and the doors open, she bolts out. She makes a mad dash for the emergency stairs, completely bypassing the two secretaries at their desks. Before they can even say hello, she flies past them like a gust of wind. One of them asks if that was Qiao Chen,
But before Ye Junho can even answer, he freezes.
Seeing President Shu walk in, he quickly drops his coffee to stand up, while Fong Zhang slowly realizes what is happening. But by the time they prepare to say hello, he has already stepped into the transfer elevator.
Fong Zhang is still incredibly curious, wondering why on earth Qiao Chen was running away so fast.
Was she seriously running just to dodge the boss? And wait, why is she even late today anyway?
She is usually the very first one to arrive, but today she barely manages to slip into her own office.
Walking right past, Shu Anan can still see the glass door of her office shaking from her entrance.
A subtle smirk plays on his lips as he silently looks at the door and calls her an absolute coward.
He wonders why she has suddenly grown so incredibly cowardly, getting this terrified just from sharing a quick elevator ride.
Is he really that terrifying to look at? And meanwhile, she is frantically grabbing her laptop to leave. She heads straight to his office door, but right as she stands there debating whether to knock or not,
the door suddenly flies open and her fist almost lands right on Shu Anan's face.
He gives her a playful smirk, asking if his lovely assistant Qiao has some kind of beef with him.
Ignoring his teasing completely, she just stubbornly holds out her hand to him.
Shu Anan chuckles at her silence, teasingly asking if she is demanding money or a brand new car.
He promises to hand over the car keys in a bit, but she just rolls her eyes and walks away. Watching her walk away, he silently sighs to himself that Qiao Chen is a highly unqualified ex-girlfriend who does not know her place. A proper ex should basically act like they are dead, yet she keeps popping up right in his face over and over. What is that even supposed to mean? Is she testing him? Anyway, the big meeting is finally starting now. As the president's assistant, she has to run the entire meeting, and though she really hates to admit it, when he is actually focused and working seriously, An has this incredibly captivating charm that she cannot ignore. By the time she finally snaps out of her daze, the people in the meeting room have already started leaving. Her coworkers are packing up their laptops, giving her a quick look that basically says she is totally on her own. Just as she shuts her laptop and gets ready to stand up, a heavy hand gently taps her shoulder.
He points out that during the 2-hour meeting, she spent almost the entire time staring directly at him.
Asking if she has some secret agenda, she quickly looks away, feeling completely busted and incredibly guilty.
She quickly fires back, telling him to stop making things up, and asks how he even knew she was looking.
Asking if he is secretly checking her out too, Zhu Anan just lets out a soft chuckle.
Then he smoothly changes the subject, asking if his lovely assistant actually got the text message he sent her last night. She denies it way too fast, making him laugh as he points out that she is acting incredibly guilty.
In that case, how is she planning to settle the score for literally kidnapping his precious pet dog?
Qiao Chen basically tells President Shu she needs actual proof since they aren't even close. Just because her dog is missing doesn't mean he stole it, but seeing him deny it? That smug smile on Shu Anan's face only widens as she slowly corners him. He backs away step by step, completely trapped against the conference room table. With nowhere left to run, he asks what she actually wants. She just smirks, pointing out she never actually accused him of stealing her roommate's dog. And if they aren't close, then why does her assistant know her favorite things best? Whew, this tension is crazy. Qiao Chen just hits right back at her. He says that's for her partner to know, and he only cares about his girlfriend. He tells her to step aside because he's got actual work to do. This completely triggers her, and she demands he repeat exactly who he knows. He literally tells her she's way too young to be having hearing issues like this. He even offers to book her an appointment, so she snaps and tells him to scram. So our guy quickly gets out of there while she fumes back to her office. Meanwhile, her friend He Zhao is chilling on the office sofa, locked into a mobile game. She is raging at her teammates, asking why they're throwing the match right now. Seriously, what is there to be scared of? She is losing her mind. Calling them a bunch of losers, she aggressively rage quits the app. She tosses her phone aside just as President Shu walks in, looking completely dead inside. She slams the door so hard the walls shake, stomping over in a mood. She glares at He Zhao's legs on the coffee table and tells her to get them down. Seeing how annoyed her friend is, He Zhao instantly puts 2 and 2 together. She asks if she got triggered by her beloved ex again, but President Shu snaps back. She claims she's completely over him, which just makes He Zhao laugh her head off. How did she even know who He Zhao was referring to? Classic slip-up. She tells her to face it. She's still in love, even after 4 years apart. She says she still can't forget him, but President Xi is in total denial. She tells her friend she's lost her mind and needs to stop dreaming. Jiao doesn't even get mad, just sits back and relaxes on the couch. She casually points out that President Su doesn't even have a boyfriend right now. And to make things worse, she lost her dog too. Talk about a tragedy. That tease actually makes our mighty boss pause her pen mid-air. She pulls out her phone, taps a bit, and announces she found the dog thief. Jiao is shook. Like, that dog Lightning went missing 4 years ago. When asked if she found the dog or the thief, she says she found both.
She picks up the office phone and make a call, and meanwhile, guess who's next door?
Our guy Qiao Chen is just minding his business, organizing schedules when his phone rings.
She demands he bring over 2 cups of coffee, leaving him totally baffled.
He's thinking, wait, isn't making coffee literally someone else's job? Why is she asking him? President Xu is genuinely taken aback by his nerve. She's like, if not you, do you expect me to brew it? Stop talking and go. He quickly says yes and hangs up, but back in the office? Jiao literally chokes on her lollipop and gives her a massive thumbs up.
She's amazed she has the guts to speak to her ex-boyfriend like that.
President Xu just scoffs, saying she's his boss, so why wouldn't she use that tone? Why are you still here? Jiao is totally stunned by the attitude. She asks back,
Aren't there 2 cups? Am I not even worth a cup of coffee after waiting so long?
Is this how Miss Xu treats her guests? Fine, I'll just drink both cups myself then. I just love coffee, okay? Fine. I cannot wait for the day President Xu gets her face slapped. But the boss just scoffs. Not going to happen.
You won't get that chance. Right then, our boy Qiao Chen walks in carrying the 2 cups of coffee.
Seeing Jiao there, he feels a quick wave of surprise and awkwardness. She spots him and instantly smiles. Qiao Chen, long time no see. He gives a polite greeting, but Jiao immediately shoots him a playful look, asking if he has time. She offers to buy him coffee, and he just smiles politely, saying he would love to. He tells her they can hang out after work, but the jealous female lead watching them, her eyes turn to ice. Her face instantly drops, and she coldly calls out to Assistant Qiao.
She asks if she needs to remind him that they are on the clock. Her voice is pure ice.
You can hear the massive jealousy in her tone. Honestly, she is exactly the same as she used to be. She still hates seeing him talk to any other woman and gets triggered instantly. He hands over the coffee, but as he turns to leave, the boss stops him in his tracks.
She coldly asks if she ever gave him permission to leave. Seeing the drama, Jiao quickly backs out.
She laughs, saying she will leave them to catch up. The moment the office door shuts, things get tense. Xu Anan slowly looks up and asks him what the main job of an assistant actually is. He says it is to support the boss in everything. Xuanan just nods, looking pleased. She decides not to make things hard for him and takes a slow sip of her coffee. But the taste is so bad, it almost sends her to the afterlife. She glares. You did this on purpose. He just flashes a polite, professional smile, reminding her she only asked for coffee. She did not specify what kind, and since everyone usually drinks cheap instant coffee, that is what she got. But here is the thing. He actually made one of the cups with premium beans because he knows her habits. He just chose to slide the cheap instant cup right in front of her to mess with her. Hey, petty revenge against a toxic boss is fine, but he would never treat a real client like that. Xu Anan's fists clench in pure rage. She mutters that she would rather believe it is raining knives.
She will never believe a single word coming out of Qiao Chen's mouth. The playtime is over.
Our boy instantly locks in and gets to work, listing out her entire schedule for the day. After listening, she pulls out a set of sleek car keys and tosses them onto the desk. She tells him it is a replacement for his damaged car, but he immediately turns it down. His old car is not even worth one wheel of this luxury ride, plus insurance already covered the damage. Honestly, she is just like her mother, trying to solve everything by throwing money at him. She insists that replacing his wrecked car is only fair, or he can just take the cash. Then she smoothly shifts the topic, asking why he still has not added her personal contact info.
She complains about how she is supposed to reach him, and he just deadpans. Use the work chat. She looks at him coldly and asks if he wants to accept her request right now.
Or does he want her to tag him in front of the entire company chat? He instantly grabs his phone.
He accepts the request right in front of her face and asks if she is finally satisfied.
She nods with a smug, satisfied smile and tells him he can go back to work now.
He agrees, but just as he takes a few steps, she calls out his name again. Seriously, what is this woman's problem? Why can't she just say everything at once?